Good evening, everyone. I have another book review for you today. I finished England's Perfect Hero by Suzanne Enoch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her first name correct. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing her last name correct because I'm pronouncing it the way they do in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children movie where somebody has that name. So this book, it was okay. I don't think I'm going to keep it just because I realized this as I was finishing reading that book was that I need a book, either a romance book that has really good sex in it, so like there's a lot of sex scenes in there, and that has a really good plot, something that has you hooked like almost right from the beginning. Like I can wait like five chapters. I can wait 5 chapters into a book for it to really start picking up and for something to hook me. And the other thing is that if there's not a lot of, sexual scenes, like if it leads into sex and they don't fully explain the sex scene or whatever, that the plot is really good and you're really hooked on it. This, we didn't get sex, nor did we get the plot till at least halfway through the book. Yeah, about halfway through the book is when we actually get a sex scene, like a proper sex scene, and when things start picking up more. So like the first half it's kind of boring for me. I liked it, and I liked the fact that Robert gets his own book. I was so, oh my god, I'm sorry, I have this weird itch spot. I don't know what it is. I don't have a bump, and I don't feel any like weird things in my hair, so it must be like a dry spot. I really hope it's just a dry spot. Anyway, I was really happy that Robert got his own story, and it's obviously with one of the ladies that, we meet in the first book, which was a library book. You gotta move that. It's just, the beginning half was really boring. I like when there is intrigue, and there's, in this book, Robert is accused of something he didn't do, and was basically a scapegoat, and just, I like the intrigue and like information finally coming out as to what happened to Robert, to why he's being accused, and all that type of stuff. That is great. I just wish there was more information in the beginning, like, chapter 6. You start there, and then, it continues on to the other half of the book, the rest of the book, and there was more sex. So, it was an okay book. It was a pleasant book. It was also a kind of bland book. But I don't really have much negativity to it, other than I wish there was more action in the beginning of the book and more sex, because there was actually a lot more sex in Georgina and Dare's book, or Tristan, that's what his name is. This one, there's like 2 sex scenes, and yeah, but, considering the circumstances that are happening in this book, it's understandable why there might be only 2 sex scenes. Robert and Lucinda, I gotta conjoin them together, we're great as a couple, and I'm happy to have them together. Just, I don't know I'm sorry. Robert is that dark, brooding character who had a horrible past, or a section of his past was, horrible, which is why he is dark and brooding. It's just, I wish there was a little more depth, cause, I don't know, this book didn't seem to have enough depth in it, whereas first one actually had some. I can't remember what I said in the first book. And then Lucinda was, she wanted simple and amiable, but, she fell in love with Robert. Simple characters are great to have, and I don't know, I'm just having difficulty like being enthusiastic or completely negative about this book because it was kind of simple and amiable. It's just a very it was a pleasant book. It's not the sort of pleasant that I get from my antiquity books, because antiquity is pleasant and exciting. This was pretty pleasant. Yeah. I don't fully hate this book. It was an okay book. I wish there was a little more. That's really all. So you can read it if you want. I'm not gonna say not to, just because of my wish-wash feelings. I did like when it picked up like halfway through the book and more of the intrigue happened, which was great. I just wish it was more in the beginning of the book too. But oh well. Because, you know, we meet Robert in the first book, and I was already intrigued by him there. So by the time we get to this book, you know, I kind of already knew how he was, so it wasn't such a mystery when we were finding out about him. But it was an okay book. It was generally okay. I do wish I had read the second book, but the second book was only in audiobook. No, actually an e-reader, and I don't have any of those. I do have a Kobo, but you know, whatever. Yeah, that was this book. It was a nice book. It was an okay book. This is like a half recommendation because you can read it if you want. I'm just not promoting it heavily for people to read. So yeah, I'm finished that. I will be giving it away, but I'm finally done another one of these books. I have 3 books still that that are backed up because they are part of a series, and you know, difficulties. I have the another Suzanne. I have another Enoch. I have another Enoch book on hold. I'm still waiting because it's an interlibrary loan, and it's part of her other series that I have, and that's going to take a little while because that is book 5 of the series. It's lower on the series of the books. So I get to read another dark book. Yay! This will have more sex and should have more depth in this book. So yes, I will now be reading Dark Guardian by Kristin Behan. I've been waiting for this book because stuff that happened in Dark Legend. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to read this one. Find out about this. So, we're gonna read the back here. They were masters of the darkness, searching through eternity for a mistress of light. He ran with the wolves, materialized from the mists, hijacked the very heavens to his whims. He was the dark guardian of his people. So how, after centuries of a bleak, soulless existence, had he, Lucian Trazanov. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce this family's line. Their last name, I can't pronounce it. It is so fucking Carpathian. Suddenly come to crave petite, curvy, colorful lady cop Jackson Montgomery, who foolishly made it her life's work to protect others from harm. Because that's what cops do. You're an ancient, so you're going to be confused as to why this century females are now in authoritative, you know, badassery roles. This is going to be exciting. Fiercely daring, Jax would sacrifice anything to shield others, particularly since a deadly menace dogged her every footstep, threatening all who got close to her. And strangely seductive, piercingly erotic Lucian was no exception. Lucian was powerful, perilously mesmerizing. That is a weird word to use there. Oddly gentle, yet clearly a born predator. He had vowed to possess her, to guard her for all time. Yet with his every thirsty kiss, was he drawing Jackson more deeper into danger and his dark, mysterious desires? Yay! Alright, are we gonna have 18 chapters again? Oh, sorry, 17 chapters. And we get a prologue, so we technically have 18 chapters. Technically. So I got this. I know you do not understand me at this moment, Jackson, but you will in time, Lucian murmured, catching her chin in his firm fingers so that his dark eyes captured her gaze. For Jax, it was like falling into a black, bottomless pool. Endless. Timeless. Lucian whispered her name and bent his head to the softness of her throat. He inhaled her scent. There was nowhere she could go that he would not find her. Though she felt so fragile in his arms, she was stirring things in him best left alone, and the sudden, urgent demands of his body were shocking him. She was young and vulnerable, and he should want only to protect her. His mouth touched her skin gently, tenderly, a small caress. At once need slammed into him, hard and imperative. He could hear her heart beating to the rhythm of his. He could hear her blood run in her veins. An enticing heat that beckoned to him, that triggered a tremendous physical hunger. He closed his eyes, and his tongue found her pulse, bathing the area once, twice. His teeth scraped gently over the vein, then sank deeply. Oh my! What is going on here? So yeah, this is the end of my simple, pleasant, boring book review. I kind of hope you enjoyed it. I didn't have much to say because, as I said in reviewing it, it's very pleasant. Yeah. I don't want to keep going into it. Yeah. So if you did enjoy this weird book review, please hit that like button down there. And if you've read this series or anything by Miss Enoch, please leave it in the comments below and let me know what you've read. And if you recommend anything that's actually really good or really intrigued you right from the beginning of the book, because I do like those books. Now, not every book I find are like that, but, you know, they're still, some of them are still good even though they're not very intriguing right from the beginning. But most of my books, I do need to be hooked really hard in the beginning. Yeah, and just don't be nasty because we do not need nastiness in the world, okay? We don't. And if this is the first time you're watching my video, please hit that big red subscribe button down there by my picture for more book reviews, hauls, let's plays, unboxing, and bagging, because some of these come in a bubble mail envelope or plastic bag wrap thingy, vlogmas, random vlogs, and random videos. Random videos, I have no idea what to categorize. Well, I messed up on that part a little bit. So, I gotta get going. I gotta start reading those. Recently finished the TV series, and it was fantastic. It ended weird, so I gotta see if it ends the same in the comic book. I also gotta continue watching season 12 of Law & Order SVU, so I will see you all in my next video. And I don't know what that is. Bye, everyone.